Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Right after this what if, I'm going to be uploading a interesting video, to say the least, about the people that have me added on Fortnite or Xbox or whatever the hell you have me added on. Do not add any of my friends. There'll be more details on that in the next video after this one. Anyway, let's get right into the what if. This would be what if Naruto was full Uzumaki. So a lot of stuff to start off with. Naruto, well, not Naruto, the Hokage calling everybody to the Hokage's office. And when they get there, Hiruzen tells them, like, Naruto has already, like, done some shit to the Stone Village, and the Stone Village is talking about waging a war against us if, we don't try to go back and get Naruto, or if we try to get Naruto without their help or some shit like that. And Sasuke was like, we need their help. We're pretty fucking capable. And Hiruzen was like, yeah, but they already sent the squad over here. And I'm gonna say, like, the squad had, like, a couple of weird-ass jonin in it. But they were mostly just trying to, backstab them anyway. So, because they're just they're no names. They're no names. It doesn't matter. So, they start heading toward the mountains. And the Stone Shinobi are, like, basically picking fun at the people that they sent. And they were like, what? The Shinobi were like, what's that? The last remaining Uchiha, one of the last remaining Uzumakis, two Byakugan users, well, three, including Neji, three Byakugan users, and the guy with the executioner's blade, and what's this little person? And Aku turns around, I was like, I'm pretty sure almost 95% of the people in this entire group is stronger than you, if not all of us are, excluding one person. And they look over there toward May, and May just kind of puts her head down, and then the ninja kind of immediately direct their just anguish, like, not anguish, but like anger toward her. And they like walk up to her and start pushing her around. And Sakura kind of feels bad, but Kadin just tells Sakura, like, you used to be like that too. You want to go back over there? And Sakura, like, stuck between a rock and a hard place, was like, no. So they keep walking, and when they're better before, like, as they're headed up the mountains, they can feel, like, the Nine Tails chakra. Like, anybody with decent sensory can sense nine to, like, just all the time. Anybody that's aware of, like, chakra and that can sense chakra can sense the Nine Tails. So as they get closer and closer to the cave, the Nine Tails was like, yo, you got more people headed toward the cave. And Naruto was like, yeah, whatever. Like, it's not nobody that I know. Besides, like, it doesn't matter. And Kurama was like, maybe you should try to sense a little bit more. And he senses them, and then he senses May, and he get, like, Naruto just gets really fucking, like, he just gets really mad. And, like, Kurama basically, like, feeds off the anger, kind of like how he does in canon. And all they hear coming from the mountain, like, when they get on, like, the same level as the cave, all they hear coming from the cave is, like, a loud screaming noise. And then they look, and there's the Nine Tails. And Sasuke says, not Sasuke, Mei kind of mumbles to herself, Naruto. And the stone ninja, they start smoking. It was like, they start not smoking, shit. They started smirking and was like, we're just like, we gotta kind of get this over with already. He's just the Nine Tails at this point. There's no part of him that's human left. And Naruto, like, the tails and stuff started slowly going away until it was just Naruto left. And the Stone Village was like, they just made this a lot easier for the Leaf Village to recapture him. Obviously lying right through their teeth, but, who really cares? So, like, they, Sasuke was like, so you gonna come back? And Naruto was like, I don't know. and he goes back into the cave, and he just went back into the cave, and Kakashi was like, well, we kind of have to get him anyway, so whether it be by force or not, or the Stone Brothers is going to try to wage a war on us, so we kind of have to. So Naruto, hearing what his actions would cause, decides that he's gonna quote unquote put up a fight, but not put up a huge fight. So Naruto, like, as everybody's like, they rush in there, and Naruto basically, like, she starts fighting them, and when Mei gets in there, like, when Mei runs up to Naruto, she kind of freezes, and Naruto just looks at her, and she can't, like, she tries to say Naruto's name, but Naruto kind of just like pushes her away. Like, no, I'm gonna say he throws her into like the wall, and Sasuke sees what's happening, and Sasuke immediately knows, like, after he did that move. So Sasuke goes behind Naruto and quote unquote chops him in the neck. And Kakashi was like, that was a little too easy. And Zabuza was like, yeah, that's suspicious to say the least. And Sasuke was like, maybe he didn't sleep, or maybe staying in the Nine-Tail state for that long makes him tired. And Kakashi was like, maybe, but I never heard of that, so possible. So they start heading back, like, they start leaving the mountains, and the stone people, like, they basically, like, at night, because it took them a minute to get Naruto, so at night, they try to make their move, and they start fighting like everybody else is fighting, and Naruto's still pretending to be passed out or whatever. And then, like, he kind of hears a scream, and he looks up, and there's Mei with a fucking, with, like, say she got stabbed, but, like, in the shoulder, basically, like, with the kunai. Like, they threw they threw a shuriken at her, and they hit her in the, like, the shoulder blade. And Naruto, like, just erupts in, like, Nine-Tails chakra. And he gets up, and, like, okay, so let me set the scene real quick. It's dark. There ain't nothing but a campfire, right? Right. And the only thing you can see in the village, because they're like, I'm gonna say, like, I don't know, they're basically camping right outside the village. So in the village, you can kind of see the light, but, like, when Naruto erupts in Nine-Tails chakra, all you can see coming from where Naruto and them is like this weird bright red glow. So, yeah. Everybody else in the village, they don't know what it is, but they know for a fact that it's probably, like, their legend or whatever that they started. So, they start panicking and running inside their houses and shit. And after Naruto, after Naruto, like, erupts in, like, the chakra, the ninja was like, wait, I thought he was passed out. And even though, like, they could have handled it easily by themselves, it may kind of, like, he just didn't want anybody to get hurt. And even though he didn't fuck with Mei at the time, Mei was still one of the closest things that he had to his dad. So, yeah. Although he didn't want to fight at the time, he felt like he wanted to kill him. Like, yeah. Anyway. So, Naruto basically, like, when the ninja were getting ready, like, because this kind of scared everybody, because, like, he's not in any tail beast state. His eyes, like, because, okay, let me just, he's not in any tail beast state, but he has the chakra levels of, like, the full, like, he has, like, he's in the I'm gonna just say 6 tail state, whatever, I don't really care. like he has a chakra of if he was in a six-tail state. And when they were like, everybody was kind of shocked because he's not in like the tail beast mode itself. His like, he's just that much chakra coming off of him. So when he so after like because everybody's shocked. So like in the same instance of Naruto, like coming out, like doing that, he kind of stunned everybody. And in that like that same breath, he goes and he like kills the Jonin that were sent by the Stone Village. What the fuck? Oh, it was that. Okay. So he kind of kills us, like he kind of kills a Jonin, and then he kind of says, "I'll meet y'all back." And well, he just disappears. Well, he tells Sasuke that he'll meet him back at the house, and Sasuke basically just kind of nods. And hold on. My fault. I just had to eat some Twizzlers. So, as Naruto, like, when Naruto vanishes, Sakura runs up to, Mei, and was like, I guess Naruto does still hold some type of value toward you, huh? And Mei still kind of feels like shit because none of this would have happened if she would never tried to do what she did. So, she's still pretty, like, just torn up about it. And when they get back to the Leaf Village, Naruto basically is like sitting back in that same room. And by this time, Mei is basically like already kind of healed. Like, if anything, her shoulder just comes to have like a slight pain when she moves it around. So, if anything, they're basically fine. Well, she's basically fine. So the Hokage basically let the village know that they're good. Like, there's no reason to be afraid anymore because Naruto's back. And the village was happy but kind of mad at the same time. They were happy because they got the Nine Tails back, meaning that they wouldn't have that much. Like, if one of the other villages was to attack, they would have enough strength via the Nine Tails to fend them off. Not like they already don't have that, but talk about it. So, Mei kind of asks Sasuke, "Where's Naruto?" And Sasuke tells her he's in the back, and that's it. He's in the back. So she goes back there and she sees Naruto, and Naruto's just sitting there, and she sees a scroll that she opened, kind of like sitting behind him, and she kind of like but she kind of like feels like the level of disappointment in Naruto. And Naruto basically, without even turning around, was like, this is your fault. And maybe like she's shocked, but she knows he's right. And Naruto's like, and before you say I'm sorry and break down into tears, don't come back in here. Better yet, for the time being, don't speak to me. It's not important. If no one is dying, if the village is not being attacked, you will not speak to me, nor come near me, nor be in my presence. No one will mention your name to me at all. You, for right now, are not relevant. I will be remaining back here for the time being. But just know, if and when I do come out, if I still feel the way that I do, you are not to be like, you are not supposed, like, don't come near me. And as Naruto's saying this, she can't see it, but Naruto is kind of like, he is, he emotional. So she kind of, hold on, let me see if I flip. Okay, yeah, it's just gonna look the same. Okay. So, as Naruto say this, she kind of, like, she gets sad. Like, she starts crying and she runs out the room. And Naruto, give me a minute. I just had a brain fart. Okay. So, as, like, she starts crying and Naruto runs out the room. And Kakashi walks in and was like, it took every ounce of like your strength just to not like grab her and never let go. And Naruto was like, shut the fuck up. And Kakashi was like, honestly, at this point in time, that was like probably in your case one of the smartest moves to do because of that fact. But anyway, I'm here if you need to talk. Until then, peace. And he kind of like dissipates into like a substitution jutsu. And Sasuke, like, sees Mei crying and he's like, oh well. And he basically, he like, I'm gonna say Haku was talking to Hinata. And Sasuke grabs Haku by the hair. And Haku looks behind her and was like, what do you think you're doing? And Sasuke was like, we're going to go train. And Haku grabs him and flips him like over the table that they were on. And was like, now we can go train. And Sasuke gets mad and Haku she starts laughing and walks off. And by all means, Haku is not stronger than, if anything, they have the relationship of like a brother and sister type relationship right now, because like how Sasuke couldn't see and Haku was helping him. That's the type of relationship that they have right now. So Sasuke gets up and he goes to, well, train with Haku. So when they get to the training ground, they see they see Guy. And Guy tells Haku that maybe if they needed some weights, he can help them out. And Haku was like, no, I don't, but he might. And Sasuke was like, what? I'm stronger than you. And Haku was like, no, think about it. If you was to use the weights that Guy uses, not only would that increase your strength and your speed, but you have their Sharingan and put that with your Chidori, and it's over with, bro. It's curtains for anybody that'll fuck with you. And Sasuke thinks about it and he was like, I'm gonna need those. And Guy was like, okay. And he goes and gets some weights for Sasuke. And like for the next, I'm gonna say, month or two, that's what they were doing. And since weights were heavy, because Sasuke was being stubborn and didn't want to start off light, so he got the heavy shits. He was getting his last beat on by Haku for like a whole month. And then he got used to them, and then, yeah. Anyway, so Naruto finally leaves the room after a month. And Sakura asks Naruto, how were you able to sustain yourself, like no food or water? And Naruto was like, I was sustaining myself off the Nine-Tails chakra. That and chakra pills that I had laying around back there. And she was like, sounds about right. And Karin kind of asks Naruto, does you want something to eat? And Naruto's like, yes, kind of. Like, he's like, yes, and like some water or some shit. My mouth has never been this dry. And she was like, okay, so like she goes out to like the ramen shop and she gets some food for Naruto to eat. And after Naruto, like, after she comes back and Naruto finished eating, he looks around and he's like, where's everybody at? And he, like, Sakura was like, Haku and Sasuke are training. Hinata, Hinata and Neji went back to the, what's the name? Went back to the Hyuga compound. Kakashi and Zabuza were sent on a mission. Me and Kadin are clearly standing right in front of you, and May's up in the room. Well, up in her room, because you haven't been in it for a while, so. And Naruto's like, yes, May. And he gets up, and Kadin finally says something. She's like, come on, Naruto, like, don't you think you've done enough to her? And Naruto turns around and looks at May and was like, don't you think that maybe I don't care? And Sakura was like, yeah, Naruto, you are being kind of, like, mean. And Naruto turns around and was like, says the girl that literally tormented me for just being the Naruto's. Trust me, Sakura, you don't want to go down this road. And Naruto like, May kind of hears them arguing downstairs. So she kind of creepily goes downstairs, and when she goes downstairs, Naruto's so enveloped in the argument that he's having with Karin and Sakura that he doesn't sense May coming up behind him. And when Karin sees this, she taps Sakura and was like, well, anyway, we're finna go talk to Sonata.